took it out for granted. I was looking out for family. I was looking out the fastest. I was coming out the baddest. I was cooking, I was trapping. I was looking for the balance. I was looking through the basket. Now my stomach looked the fattest. Big old buckets full of carrots like my enemy. Still I can't see how this can happen. I saw a friend in need. I just can't turn around and go back with shit that meant to leave. I just can't turn around and look backwards, it ain't shit to see. I bumped my head so many times, I done seen so many signs. I done dreamed so many lives, I done seen so many eyes. Somebody prayed for the one grave, when you done seen so many die. Stack that money up for the rain, when you done seen so many drown. I got these pictures stuck when they told me. No, I know I can't give a fuck, I be going back to the old me. Yeah. I drown my problems in this bottle, they got deeper every swallow, so I'm sinking to the bottom, they came up to breathe. I sit right next to why they stretched them, yes, I'm blessed to sneeze. I watch you take off like a Jetson, I was next to Lee. You walk outside, you see a Western, like who next to squeeze. I went spit 50 with the Mexicans, standing next to Key. See what you told me while confessing, we'll never speak. They be like Stoller trying to save them, all they do is preach. The streets don't do them type of favor, no way you or me. The streets don't do no type of saving, all they do is teach. Yeah, I took it out for granted. I was looking out for family. I was looking out the fastest. I was coming out the baddest. I was cooking, I was trapping. I was looking for the balance. I was looking through the basket. Now my stomach looked the fat. Big old buckets full of carrots like my enemy. Still I can't.
Mic check, mic check. It is I. I'm back, man. Whew. Lord have mercy. A little bit late. How late am I? 20. 22 minutes late. That's actually typical. That's actually typical for me, man. It is me, BearFeezie, and I'm back. Actually, for the first episode, this is actually gonna be my first episode. I'm jumping off for the new show, man. Escaping Roguish Circumstances, man. This is the show where basically you learn to focus on what's real and less on how you feel. I am your host, BearFeezie, and welcome. Sorry for the delay. Sorry that I'm late, man. If I am on your phone screen, go ahead and share it. Go ahead and let me know what let me know how you feeling. My internet is saying I got limited bandwidth. You know what I mean? So if I do a little skip and a little bit lagging, you know what I mean, you should still be able to hear me. Shout out to the world. Shout out to everybody, you know what I mean, present. I'm gonna go and get to it. Let's see how I'm looking. Look a little blurry, but hey, that's expected. You know what I mean? I'm gonna upgrade that. You know. Basically today, man, I wanted to introduce myself. What you can expect, or I think I already did that. What we're gonna be doing tonight, and basically who am I? Who is BearFeezie? Where did this guy come from? What is escaping roguish circumstances gonna be? You know what I mean? First, I guess I can introduce myself by letting you know why I was late. I basically I was coaching my son football team, and that shit when he came in, when we came back, I lollygag. I had to take me a shower. I just threw I ain't got no shirt on under. I threw the jacket on, threw my cap on, man, and I just had to get to it. It ain't no excuses. You know what I mean? It ain't no excuses, man. When you got plans, you got expectations of yourself. It ain't no excuses on what, you just sometimes you gotta jump out there. But it's I'm here. I'm here. I'm present. Who is BearFeezie? My real name is Heishan Haskins. Uh, I should have typed it. I should have put that on the screen. Heishan Haskins. I'm 37 years old. I am a husband, a father, child of God, um, a coach. I got a job. I'm a business owner. Um, I'm a lot. I'm a lot, man. I'm a big deal. Um, I'm coming to this podcast to basically reach my tribe. I feel like it's a number of people out there waiting to meet me because of my way to intellectually explain different type of scenarios, because of my understanding that I have, because of a lot of different attributes, a lot of different things that I have in me. And basically I know it's a tribe of young men and young ladies that need to meet a guy like me who've been through the struggle as most of us go through, who've lived the lifestyle that a lot of us live growing up in poverty, growing up in the hood, growing up in situations that unfortunately a lot of us have to go through. And so basically I'm back and with my new podcast. Um I'm the host, the producer, I'm the behind the camera, I'm the in front of the camera. You know what I mean? I'm the one for now. I feel like it's gonna grow into something great. Heishan Haskins was born May 26, 1987. And to a father, James Clark, and no, a father, James Haskins, and my mother, Thelma Louise Clark. And the reason I kind of was hesitant, man, on that, it might kind of get deep kind of quick. The reason I was kind of hesitant on that, man, is because I've never met, I've never actually met those two people um, physically. And the reason I say that, when I was early 20s, my mother, Thelma Louise, actually got out of prison. And my mother got out of prison and she got my number from somebody. I believe it was Miss Linda probably. And she called me. So I actually talked to my mother on the phone a couple of times, but I never met her. I never met her in person. So I come from the conditions where we come from. My mother, her people were from where I know she was. I want to say her people too. I know she was from West Dallas. I was born in Dallas, Texas. Her people was from West Dallas, and that's where, you know what I mean. And my mother was on drugs. Um, I believe I don't want to, put nothing on her that wasn't actually her or tell her story. But I believe her drug of choice was heroin. Now she's never told me that, but the reason I have a strong hint at what her choice was is because who actually raised me as my father, who I know as my father, and got me from her, was her dealer at the time, the person who was serving her. Um, One day he told her, "Hey man, you just had this new baby. I had by birth I have a brother and a sister that I know of, and by birth he was he she had me, and he told her one day, hey, you're not gonna do nothing with that baby. Let me have him." And he brought me home to his girlfriend, and that's who raised me as my mother and father. And I've been my mama, Vanita Hodge, the dealer. He went off to the penitentiary and served about 8, 9 years. And my mother raised me. She raised me up from that point, and that's who I know as my mom, the girlfriend who he brought me home to. And shout out to my mama, Vanita Hodge. And she raised me, man, and she produced this child, or helped produce. You know what I mean? Thelma did the labor, and then she did the raise, and she helped produce this guy that you have in front of you today. And I appreciate her so much, and I very appreciate how she did her thing, man. She worked. My mother was a working mother. She kept a job, maybe two, maybe three. You know what I mean? A full time and a part time, and she raised me up. And I never felt like I was adopted, or I never felt mistreated, or dang, I wish I wasn't here, or anything like that. I feel like she was my mom. I remember she had got married. I want to say that was the only time. Yeah, that was the only time my mother got married. She got married, and I remember her telling me. I remember being in about the third, maybe the second grade, and I remember her telling me that I was adopted. I remember her telling me that I'm not your real mom. And I was like, and it, and um it didn't sadden me. I didn't feel nothing like that. I remember I just had questions like what and who and why and well who and so it was really a life lesson. If I can reflect on it now, I the lesson I would get from that point is tell your children the truth as soon as you feel like they're able to understand. Because I feel like if she would have waited to tell me that I was adopted way down the line, that could have kind of changed my feelings. Like, dang, you've been lying to me, or I don't know how it would have been. But that's when the you the misconception or the things get mixed up, and you feel different when But I feel like soon as I was able to understand, she told me, and I still remember that point. And but like I said, I never felt mistreated. Now my mama, I used to get whoopings, and she used to try her best to keep me in line as a woman, but she didn't hold anything back for me. Any understanding that she had, my mama gave it to me, and I thank her. I thank her for that. Um, I grew up all around Dallas, honestly. I became a man in North Dallas, but I went to school in East Dallas. I went to elementary school. I went to elementary school in Pleasant Grove on Ferguson, um, and a little part of Dallas. I went to on Ferguson. I went to elementary school on Peavy Block in Dallas. I went to elementary school, and then I think those were really the only two areas. I ain't gonna say all around Dallas, but in those two areas, and then we moved, to North Dallas, and that's where I went to like the sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade. Um, and I remember one year I started kind of, getting older, doing my own thing. I was in high school, and by this time, my dad, the dealer who got me from my birth mom, by this time he had gotten out of prison. He did like 9 years. He had gotten out of prison, and he got his own spot. And she sent me with him after I grew up and acting up, and he lived in South Dallas, and I lived out there for about a year. And then I made the decision like, nah, I gotta go back to my hood. You know what I mean? This is where you get the mind frame that where you become a man, that's your section, that's where you from. And I moved out of his house, and it was some older guys who let me stay with them, and I was living with, I lived with, shout out to said Poe and real, man, they were some guys from Mississippi that I had met out in North Dallas, and they let me live with them. My baby crying. Mama gonna get her. And they let me live with them, man. And I went to high school in the Lake Highlands area, North Dallas. Now, honestly, North Dallas is a lot of apartments, and and it was it's a real different living environment because a lot of it's ghetto. It's a ghetto where you know what I mean. But there's also it's right in the Richardson school district, so there's actually Caucasian people. It's a nice blend, and I'm appreciative of growing up in North Dallas. It's a nice blend between Caucasian people and black people who move from the inner city to the you know what I mean to a suburb sort of because it's right on the borderline of Richardson, the area that I moved to. It's not like near it's near the North Dallas projects, but it's on further down 75, or whichever way you go. And I went to Lake Highlands High School until they told me they didn't want me there. And then I went to this charter school is what they call it. Like well, this is school I graduated from, Evolution Academy. Shout out to Mr. and Miss Trigg, Officer McCall, and her name is Aunt Marlis. Is I don't want to call her by her. And my Aunt Marlis, which is the principal that was at the school. I call her Aunt Marlis, but she was the principal at the school then, and she took a liking to me and seen potential in me as a student, and she and she didn't let up on me. She took me to church with her. She let me meet her family, her husband, her children, and she just and I appreciate Marley so much. Uh and and yeah, man, I became a man. I graduated from school, and fresh out of school, my high school sweetheart was pregnant, and I became a father, man. And sometimes, man, we don't know why life does what it does to us, but I appreciate that firstborn of mine. He's now graduated from high school. He's now in the army. He just went off about 2 or 3 weeks ago, man, and I miss my son, man. I ain't gonna get sensitive on here. Get some water. But I miss my son, man. I raised him up, and I only talk to him once a week, man. But yeah, he's my guy, man. Shout out to my brother, man. He in the building. Shout out to my brother Tommy, man. Y'all get with Coach if y'all, what I mean, need to be lifted in your spirits, need to find yourself, need to find your purpose, need to find, what I mean, get some goals in order. Y'all get with my brother. But yeah, man, I had my son straight out of school, me and my high school sweetheart, who I'm now married to, my wife, Shamisha Haskins. We had our firstborn, Alexander Haskins, and we was trying I was trying some different things, and let me see, that's actually wrong. And I fixed it that quick. God is good. But basically, man, I had my first son. I started now growing up in North Dallas. I mean, I started picking up some habits from the surroundings, man, and honestly, to be all the way 1,000, I'm telling my life story. I definitely wouldn't promote this to anybody coming up now because there's too many ways to get some money. But I started selling weed. I started selling weed in junior high. Um, and I started smoking weed in junior high as well. I started selling weed, and you know what? Shout out to Chill Will, man. He was an older guy, but we found a whole lot of weed. And now, like older, I ran into him as we got older. Chill Will from Garland. Um, we now I know that it was his. I don't know if he was running from the police or what, but man, we was walking one day, and honestly, I wasn't even there. My partner, my bro, then was walking. They found a whole lot of weed on the ground. That's honest. And from that point, they put the whole little clique, put us in a position. Now we selling weed. That was you know what I mean. That's when I first sold drugs, and I was in the eighth grade. The first time I actually failed eighth grade. Um, I was in the eighth grade, and the the guy chill, man. I don't know what he was doing, bro, but his weed was on the ground, and we didn't know him then. But yeah, we started selling weed, and at the school, Prince started smoking weed before school. We know we were doing just wilding, man, and time went on, and the thing became to sell crack if you want some money. I picked up me some crack and got to serving, man. And I mean, when I tell you this was a selling strip, like all you had to do was have rocked up cocaine and be in this area, and you was gonna make you some money. Honest to God, all you had to do was be on this strip, and you was gonna make you some money. And that's what I did. And I ran into one of my brothers, Ted, and shoot, ninth grade, we selling crack. And you know what I mean? That's how it was. You want some money, man. And some of my guys, and I didn't stay out there for long. Some made a career out of it. You know what I mean? I'm 37 now, and I know some guys who started selling crack back then and are still selling. You know what I mean? And that's just how the mentality just and that's how important where, you know what I mean, that's how important where you raise your kids is, and the the relationship you have with your children is, man. And to be all the way 1,000, and now I can recognize the relationship that my mom built with me. My mom knew I was selling crack. My mom knew what it was. Um, she knew, you know what I mean, but she knew that she couldn't change. You know what I mean, if she would have tried to stop me, it's not like she was finna hold my hand through life. She told me what, you know what I mean, what to expect. Now you got to think about the environment I came from. My dad, who raised me, he sold drugs, so I knew, you know what I mean, this what I recognize as getting money. I didn't know any doctors. I didn't know any YouTubers getting money. I didn't know of any, you know what I mean? I knew my mama had a job, but I knew my dad sold dope. You know what I mean? Um, I knew what he went to jail for. You know, so and I was around him before he went to jail. He didn't just take me to it. Like he raised me. He had he had drove nice cars. Bought a little juke joint, a little club, a little bar, I guess you can call it. But it was a club, but it wasn't like a party club. It's just where folks used to come hang out, shoot pool, listen to music. So I seen my dad. I seen what he did, and you know, the apple don't fall too far from the tree, is what they say. So I started doing. That's how I handled the situation, man. Everybody around me handled it like that. You know what I mean? And well, shit, we sold dope, and it's not. And I'm not saying I'm some type of. I'm not a street. I wouldn't even say I'm a street guy because that's where I was raised at. Uh, because that's where I learned all my ways, and I see and I recognize them now, man. Um, but yeah, but and that's why I say I'm glad I had my son, because I started thinking about, man, I started thinking about being around for my son. I started thinking people start going to the penitentiary, um, catching cases. Well, you know what I mean? It's one thing to run from the police, but when the dude that was standing there with you gets caught and damn, he ain't around no more, you start thinking like, damn, you know what I mean? I'm not faster than him. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't an athlete in high school, or you know what I mean. So like I got away. You know what I mean? I slipped through, or I wasn't out there that day, or damn, you know what I mean? Like he's been doing it longer than me. He knows the game more than me. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Ted, man. He out now. I think Ted done served like 10 years in the penitentiary. Shout out to my brother, man. I remember I remember robbing. I remember getting away from selling crack and you know what I mean, being a consistent drug dealer. I remember robbing with one of my brothers. I mean, like literally robbery. Like um a no mask, and it's a difference between stealing and taking something. You know what I mean? Like we looking at folks in their eyes and tying them up and running in folks' houses, and um yeah, man, all this is this. And I know, I hope people know me now, and God is good, man. But and they could probably, I remember snatching folks' purses, and I didn't never snatched a woman purse, but my homeboy, we was out on the street and looking for a lick and rob and looking for a robbery. Ain't nobody out at night, and a woman walk by, you gonna get your, you know what I mean, you gonna get your purse snatched. But shit, I'm just as guilty. If they would have caught us, all of us was going down. You know what I mean? Depending on the situation, who's snitching, who's standing still. You know, so I remember robbing folks. I remember, you know what I mean. I remember selling dope. Um, I remember my partner and them used to steal Hondas. I remember learning how to drive. My homeboy learning how to drive, teaching me how to drive in a Honda, in a stolen Honda. Just a lot of bullshit. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. A lot of shit that didn't amount to anything, but by the grace of God, I was able to slip through that, and here to tell you today, if you young or if you still in that type of situation, don't waste your time. You know what I mean? Get your money and educate yourself through YouTube. Um, Find you a mentor and get around some people, bro, who's able to lead you, because I'm getting paid through this app. That whatever whichever app. Well, don't give me the line. I'm getting paid through Facebook, and it is more lucrative. Meaning, I'm getting more money. It ain't no re-up on Facebook. You put in the work, they pay you. It ain't nothing I gotta put money back. I gotta put some time and effort into it. But I'm on Facebook anyway. So you know what I mean? Don't I want you to understand that is ways to get money out here. DoorDash, there's some ways to be your own boss, man. This is my clothing brand. There's some ways to get money. So thank you, God. Thank you to the big one that He blessed me, and I'm living, I'm living this life I'm living. I got 4 children. Um, my wife she's working now, but for the last 2 years, I'm paying all the bills, um, taking care of a family. You know what I mean? Being a productive citizen. And we had a another child Kingston. After Kingston came, we got married in Vegas to my high school sweetheart, and I'm just breezing through now. It wasn't just a cruise, you know what I mean? We moved together, moved separated, and um, went back and forth, and you know, you know what I mean. Any type of anything that you want out of life is gonna take some dedication and work. Um, we had our son Trey. We bought our first home, moved out to the suburbs, moved out of the North Dallas area. This entire time we living in the North Dallas area. I think we moved out to Garland. They had a cheaper rent. Man, I mean, well, we moved out to Garland and in our first apartment, and you know, moved at our parents' house. And yeah, man, time just being a God is good, man, because I'm looking at it now about all of these struggles that I had to go through. And I remember times that I just felt stuck and I felt like I wasn't nothing more. And I want to say to those who are in those situations, that's not you. I know you a street nigga, or so you think. I know you are I know you represent your hood. You know what I mean? I know you getting it out the mud, and or you get it out of hoe, or get it out of bitch, or whatever you however you whatever you do. But I wanna man, God is good, man. This is my purpose. Cause that's not you. You are a victim of those circumstances. And the reason you done tuned in to me right now live, or if you catch this clip later, the reason you done tuned in to me, man, is because it's time to escape those roguish circumstances and change your situation and start a legacy for your family, bro. You don't want your son. You're not finna give your son a pack, are you? You're not finna teach your daughter how to rob, or women. You don't want your daughter being hoeing, do you? Or you know what I mean? And I know we get put in situations where we got to do what we got to do. You know what I mean? Tricks are around us, cluckers or fiends or dope heads are around us. So shit, I'm finna get this money, or you know what I mean? But guys, man, there's so many ways to get paid. Money is not the goal of life. Money is not the objective. Money is the tool that you use to serve you, or to, you know what I mean, to lead you. It's just really a trade bargain. Before, you know what I mean, this whoever controlling this world came up with the dollar bill, people used to just trade. I give you this, you give me this. You know what I mean? So don't get caught up in thinking you supposed to be chasing this money. That ain't the game. You know what I mean? Purpose, the big God put you here for purpose. There's something that you there's something that you are here for, that God assigned to you. And you like, and I know you like, man, why why I gotta go through this? Why I'm here? That's a part of it. You know what I mean? Big God don't make no mistakes. But you know what I mean, you got all the answers, man. If you still breathing, you woke up and stepped out of bed, you know what I mean? Your purpose is still waiting on you to walk in. But it's your choice though. He not gonna, you know what I mean? You gotta want that, man. And I'm here to tell you that once you want that, it ain't the sky. The sky is not even a limit, man. Past the sky, there's some planets out there that's waiting on you. It's, you know what I mean. It's limitless. Square business is limitless, man. So I want to just let you know, man. Let's escape these roguish circumstances, man. I think I'm a. If anybody got something to say, got a question for me, inbox me. Drop it in the comments. If you got a question for me, you wanna, you know what I mean? I'm finna hop on my other you know what I mean? It's up, man. I'm happy, man. I'm finna hop on TikTok, man. I just wanted to introduce myself and I'm finna this what you can expect, some real news you can use now. I honestly, I'm gonna have some jewels, some solutions for you on this show. You know what I mean? Some ways that you can escape roguish circumstances. Some tools that you can take away from this and use and apply to your life and get you over that hump and come on to the, you know what I mean? Come on to heaven. You know what I mean? Because I don't want you thinking that heaven is something that you're gonna float up to when you die. I don't want you thinking like that, man. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, man, that heaven is a place, is a mindset that you can set yourself in right today. Heaven is a condition that you look around, man. Folks have created heaven for themselves on the backs of those who came before you. But now it's no excuse because everybody got access to the information. All you got to do is want it and go and get it, man. All you got to do is want it now. And I don't want to, I'm going to leave on this, man. I don't want a religious gang bang with you because, you know what I mean, you believe it is a place you go to. I don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean? I don't want to go back and forth with you about that. I want to talk about now. What you gonna do now? You just gonna wait till you die? That ain't. It's time is now. The time. I don't want to go back and forth with you about you believing in this. I'm believing in this, or they believing in that. Let's come together on common ground and make a role for us all. We can argue about religion later. Once we, you know what I mean, once we don't set ourselves in a situation that's more beneficial for you and me, that's more suitable for kings and queens. You know what I mean? Let's argue about that other stuff later, but right now, let's talk about today. Let's talk about something you can put in action. Let's come up with a solution you can put into play, make a decision on, and step out on it and go and get it. We come together and produce something so fruitful, and like we look around us and folks doing big business. Folks are doing big business. You know what I mean? Folks are set up. These corporations, man, they getting so much money you can't even count it. Now it's not about the money, but it's about what that's bringing to them. What type of land and what they're able to produce from it. So what I don't understand your question. I don't understand how you do the 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 graphics of VFX. Ask that again, O'Shea. I don't understand VFX, or maybe that's a typo. Uh, but if you ask it again, I'm gonna answer that question and get on out of here, y'all. Man, it's all love with me, man. If you got some you want to know anything you think I can help you with, You wanna know anything, you wanna come on the show, you got some information that you feel like you can help the people with, let's get on here and let's help our people. Let's help us escape these broken circumstances and get our family out of these conditions. Cause it's sad, man, when we killing each other, selling drugs to each other, raping each other, when we doing all type of wrong shit to each other. You know what I mean? And then that in itself tells somebody else that they can do it to us. You do that to each other. You know what I mean? You look around, and that's the first thing they say. Oh, look at that! Look at how y'all do each other. They right, only to a certain extent. So let's lift each other up and educate each other and be responsible for each other and respect it and respect each other enough to give us the information that we have. And and that's the and that's episode one. That is episode one. This is escaping roguish circumstances, where you learn to focus on what's real and not how you feel. You know what I mean? And let's get it let's get it going. Let's get it going. I am your host, BearFeezie, and I'm gonna sign out. Peace.